I'm Miss Alyssa.
And I'm Miss Teresa.
And this is our second book talk.
Yay! Thank you guys so much for joining us. We have been having such fun with all of our activities every Friday. So
they're really delicious this month, I say.
Oh yeah, and the activities have just been wonderful.
So as everyone knows, our book for this month was The School for Good and Evil.
Yay!
By Soman Chainani. I hope I'm saying that right.
Mm-hmm. Such a good book. I really like this book a lot.
It was awesome.
And I know that we liked Percy Jackson, The Lightning Thief. I think I like this book better.
I think I did too.
It was so good.
Both were good, but this one I'm a huge fan of.
And I think there was something in this for everybody.
Yes. So
yes, we really like this. And let's just go into it. What character did you like the best?
I have to say I liked Agatha the best. Because she reminded me a little bit when I was that age, a little kind of like a loner, did my own thing, wasn't really concerned about how other people
thought of you.
Thought how my clothes looked. I didn't really care.
Okay.
Also, I think she's really funny.
Mm-hmm.
And the biggest thing I liked about her is what a good friend she was to Sophie.
Yes.
She was very selfless. Everything she did in the whole book was to make sure Sophie was getting what Sophie wanted, or that Sophie was going to be safe and get back home with her.
I agree. I thought Agatha was a really good character. She wasn't my favorite character, but she was a good character. She was a really good friend. She put Sophie above everyone else, even her own safety. You see that throughout the whole book. You're right that she was really...
She turned herself into a cockroach to help Sophie.
Exactly. She skipped out on her classes. Her points went down. She just was concerned about them surviving this. And she didn't want bad things to happen to Sophie. So I agree. I also thought she was confident in what she and how she wore her hair and her clothing. And you're right, she was funny. I like the part where just in the very beginning, she needs to make a diversion for herself when she first gets to school. Because all of the princesses are like, why are you here?
You're in the wrong school.
So what does she do? She passes gas. And she just does it. Yeah. She doesn't apologize. She's knocking out the everyone's like screaming and running away, but she needed to leave, and that was the way she was going to do it. So I thought that was...
And then she has she just shows back up to class. She's not embarrassed.
Yeah.
I'm like, I like that about her.
Yeah, she was good. Like I said, I didn't have a favorite character. I liked all of the side characters, the minor characters. A lot actually from the school for evil. So a lot of the nevers I really liked. Two of the main ones I liked were Dot and Hort. So I think both of them showed that they were really good friends. And even though they were supposed to be evil, they, I think, showed the most friendship other than Agatha.
That's true.
So Dot, one, she has an amazing power. She can turn anything into chocolate.
That's pretty awesome.
And I love the descriptions of them just finding chocolate smears everywhere, or she's eating chocolate books and it's her homework. I think that's hilarious. And then Hort, I know, he tried his best with a lot of things, but he was just so awkward. But he just tried to be the best evil never that he could be,
which wasn't too evil.
Yeah,
for being honest.
He didn't.
He wasn't very good at being evil, which maybe isn't a bad thing, but in this school, it's very bad.
Yeah. So with Dot, she tried her best by eating all the mealworms when they were in the Garden for Good and Evil. So I thought that was really good. She didn't want Sophie to fail. And then with Hort, when Sophie gets kicked out of her room, Hort lets her in his room, and he sleeps on the floor, and he says that she can't be there, but he doesn't put up a fuss. He kind of just lets her do what she needs to do, tries to help her where she can, with uglification. He pushes her head into the potion so that she can not fail.
He was trying to help her.
Yeah, so I think that they showed that they were good friends.
And I think it's interesting that the Nevers were really the nicest friends to each other.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
When you compare how the Evers treated each other.
Yeah, Evers weren't great.
They were very involved with themselves.
Yeah.
They wanted to make sure they were doing well, there were some good friends. I think Kiko
was
Agatha,
nice.
At least nice to Agatha.
Mm-hmm.
But
none of them wanted to room with her. You know,
No.
that's why she ended up by herself. So yeah, I think that even though you are supposed to have the good people and the bad people, I think the Nevers exemplified more friendship than the Evers did.
I would agree with that.
And so, who was your least favorite character?
Well, Sophie, she's not my least favorite. Sophie did test my patience at time, though. I just want to say that.
Okay.
But I think both of our least favorites was Tedros.
Yeah,
Right.
so I agree. I didn't like. Okay, so I liked Sophie. I thought she was an interesting character. But you're right. If you're comparing her to Agatha, Agatha was a better friend. Sophie really kind of just pushed Agatha to the side whenever a prince showed up. She was so set on wanting her happily ever after that she kind of left her friend on the side. But you're right, Tedros.
I feel like we both had like high expectations when you first meet him. You learn that he really wants to be the best king he can in the future, and he doesn't want to make the mistakes his father made.
Yeah, so you find out that his father is King Arthur. And so his father is a famous king, but he hasn't made great choices, and so Tedros wants to be better. And he knows that he wants to pick the right princess.
He wants a princess that likes him for who he is, not just that he's King Arthur's son and he's so dreamy.
Yeah.
You know, he'll look good next to them. But I feel like he thinks that, but his actions do not reflect wanting to be a good person.
If he wants someone to like him for just himself, then why isn't he liking other people for themselves? You know, he's very much like, sorry, princesses and witches can't be friends. Well, that's not fair.
I think he can't believe that Agatha is actually the purest, nicest princess because she doesn't look.
Yeah, he's going all on looks, and that's just not fair. Yeah. So I agree. I thought when they first introduced him that he was going to learn and grow, you know, because, no one wants to be judged by just the way they look, but he was doing a lot of judging, and he wasn't giving everyone a fair chance. He wasn't a good listener. So no,
not at all.
I really thought that he was going to do better. And so I was disappointed in his character.
I hope in the future books he learns and grows and becomes a better person, but he was definitely bottom of the list for me.
I agree. So what was your favorite part?
My favorite part, well, I liked the entire book. I liked every part of it. So it was really hard for me to pick just one chapter or moment, but I really did like all the classes that the girls go through. I liked learning about Sophie in her uglification classes and how she thinks it's just not possible. Because she's so beautiful. You can't turn her into an ugly witch. I liked the beautification is what Agatha goes through, and Agatha is not good at that either. I think it's curses and death traps was one class. Animal communication, which sounds really fun to me. Not so much to Miss Teresa.
No, I would want animals talking to me.
I would love that. And then one of my favorite moments was during the special talents class.
Okay.
Where Sophie decides to show everyone that she's really good.
Oh, that's right.
Evil, and she lets out this beautiful whistle for all these, she's expecting like bunnies, butterflies.
So when you're a princess, all of your animals
deer.
Come and help you.
Instead, she whistles and hornets, bats, locusts, bees, creepy crawlies all come swarming to her beautiful voice.
Yeah, that's fun. That was a good part. That was really funny.
She doesn't show that she's good. She shows that she's really good at being bad.
Yeah,
that's great.
Yes. Okay.
How about what was your favorite part?
Okay, so my favorite part wasn't as funny as yours. That's a really good part, but it actually ties into your part. So that class, they're all working on their special talents because they have to battle their talents in the circus of talents.
Right.
So my part that I really liked was the circus of talents, where they're battling against the Nevers and the Evers.
It's an important scene.
It is, because just if you take out all of their talents, you find out that, okay, well, we know that if you get low grades in the school for good or for evil, that you become the no, you become the inanimate objects or the animals. You can't
like a beanstalk or a tree.
exactly.
Tree,
you don't get to. Not everyone gets to be a prince or a princess. Not everyone gets to be a villain or a henchman. So if you get a low grade, you become the beanstalk in Jack and the Beanstalk.
Yeah.
But if you completely fail, you find out in this chapter that you become a servant. You become a servant for the other school.
Yeah.
So they use Bane as an example, and we find out that Bane was a reader, just like Agatha and Sophie.
Bane is the fairy.
He's a fairy, yeah. So he came from the same village as Agatha and Sophie, and he went to the school of evil, but he failed that school. And because he failed, they made him a fairy, and they made him a servant in the school of good. And they switch a bunch of people, because you have people who fail the schools, and they're stuck being servants forever until they basically die. And it shows that there's something bigger going on than just you're happy ever after or becoming the best villain. So I think it showed the kids that there's a lot at stake. Yeah. And that maybe the lines between good and evil
don't matter so much as, is this right? What's happening? Is it fair?
Is it fair? Is it fair that these kids, because they were kids when they were punished, is it fair for them to have to deal with this all the time? And should something change? So I like that. It gave everyone a different perspective. And I'd like to see if that plays a part later on in the books. So what was the part that you liked the least?
That was easy. That was the ending. Because it's a cliffhanger, and I want to know what happens right away. It's not fair. No. And B, I didn't like that Agatha had to choose between either developing love for Tedros, which maybe possibly, I don't know, or picking her best friend, having a best friend at all, basically. She had to pick. I mean, I am happy that she chose her friendship, because I think Sophie was a little bit better to her than Tedros was.
Sophie at least listened sometimes. I felt like Tedros never listened.
Sophie, towards the end, wanted to change or wanted to become a better friend.
Yeah, she didn't want to be.
Or she at least realized that Agatha's doing all this for her.
Yeah, she didn't want to be evil. I think she recognized that she really lucked out to have such a good friend in Agatha. Yeah. And that Agatha looked beyond what was considered evil and still liked Sophie. So yeah, I agree. I didn't like that they made Agatha choose. I didn't like that it was a cliffhanger because they just disappeared.
Yeah, you don't know what happened.
So what's going to happen?
You don't know where they went, if they get to leave.
Do they go back to their village? Are they gone forever? Are they? And then that's the end. So it's like, okay, well, yeah, great. So
it's a very good gimmick, Mr. Chainani, because now we have to read the next book.
Okay, which ties into, would you read another book by this author?
Absolutely. In fact, I've already requested the second book.
I have too.
Okay. And apparently, I think the last book just came out this month.
Yes.
And there's 6 altogether, so you can read the entire series.
And I hear it's going to be turned into a Netflix movie. So that'll be something that we can maybe all watch later on. But if you guys didn't like this book, or you want to take a break from the School for Good and Evil, we have some other recommendations. So I have the first one right here, which is called Flunked. And this is by Jen Kalanita. And this one's going to be about bad kids that are going to be turned into future heroes. And the people that teach them how to be future heroes are all of the bad villains. So when they go...
The villain, they're going to teach them to be...
Yes. So they go to the fairy tale reform school, and the teachers are the big bad wolf, the evil queen, Cinderella's wicked stepmother. So I'd be interested in seeing how that turns out for all of those bad kids.
Interesting. I mean, it does seem interesting, but I don't know about the big bad wolf.
Oh gosh.
Okay. So our second recommendation is The Land of Stories, The Wishing Spell by Chris Colfer. And it's about a brother and sister, they're twins, and they find out that all these fairy tales they've read about, they're real. And they have somehow ended up in the land of these fairy tales, and they need to figure out how to get home. And this is a series as well, and it's really popular. I'm sure you guys all have seen it.
Okay, and then this one right here. So if you guys have ever seen the Disney movies, The Descendants.
Probably not. It's not very popular.
If you've seen those ones, this book is what those are based on. So This right here is going to have the same similar characters from the Disney movies. You're going to have Mal, Evie, Jay, and Carlos, but I'm pretty sure this is going to be a little bit different than the movies. So if you guys want to read where those movies came from, you have this one right here.
And now we get to tell you what we're reading next month for August, and it is Escape from Mr. Limoncello's Library.
Woo-hoo!
It's a little bit different because the last two books we've read were more fantasy, mythology.
Yes, those were more based in fairy tales. This one right here is based in kind of real life. You've got a group of kids, they're locked in a library, and they have to get out through a series of games and puzzles. And so it's
teamwork.
Yeah. So it's going to be really interesting to see how that comes together.
It is also a series. If you guys really like it, you can keep reading. But yes, this will be our next one, Escape from Mr. Limoncello's Library by Chris Grabenstein.
Yes. So we are really excited. Just remember, guys, that we have our activities posted on Facebook every Friday, and all the books that you guys can read and we've recommended, you can use your minutes on our reading challenge. So remember to fill those out, take them to your nearest library branch, and you may win a prize for it.
And in fall, I think in September, you get free books.
Yes, you get a free book. Mm-hmm. So thank you guys for joining us.
We had so much fun.
Yeah.
And we also want to know, if you have any comments, do you like what we're reading, the books we're reading? Is there a book you think we should read?
We want to send us your recommendations. We love to hear what everyone's reading right now. Yes. And we hope that you continue with us as we read more books. We're so excited.
We're excited. We love reading all these books with you guys.
So have a great day. Again, thank you guys for being here with us, and we'll see you soon.
Bye.